Hello friends, my name is Cornelius Minor. I am a Brooklyn-based educator and I've been spending time this month reading Kwame Alexander and Mary Rand Hess's Swing with kids all over the country. And as I've been reading this book with kids, I've been learning so much and I wanted to share some of that with you. Each week for the past few weeks, I've been reading about swing and thinking about swing and trying to translate the whole experience of reading that book with kids into stuff that we can do in our classrooms. And so I wanted to talk with you about a few things. I wanted to discuss a few scenes in the book, and then I want to talk about some of the issues that those scenes raise. As I continue to talk about swing in this video, I'll kind of explore how we can begin to talk about these issues in our classroom, and then finally I'll end by leaving you with a few resources and recommendations. But one of the scenes that has really stuck with me and so many young people in the last week actually isn't a specific scene. It's more a trend that persists across the book, and it's the idea or the very nature of the friendship that Noah and Swing share. That at this point so many kids have discovered through reading the book that we've got Swing or Walt who is black and we've got Noah who is white, and so many kids have been charmed and really moved by the power in that friendship. You know, we live in a time where there is so much that can potentially divide us. So to follow these two on this journey into love and really thinking about what it feels like to live life to the fullest, that has been a really powerful experience for kids. And one of the most powerful parts of watching that friendship blossom and bloom and mature for kids has been watching how Walt and Noah talk about race even when they're not talking about race. You know, there's so many moments in the book where Noah might bring up a thing that Walt helps to clarify. You know, it's really, really powerful. There was a moment on page 132 where they mentioned the song Ebony and Ivory, and that was something that was new for Noah in some places. But as we read closely throughout the book, we see that there are so many places where Noah encountered these new things that were new to his experience, but they weren't quite new to Swing's experience. And the great care and love with which Swing helped to clarify or even explain those issues for him. There was the point on page 140 that got to many of my students where they were talking about Romeo Bearden and how Romeo Bearden, as a baseball player, we all know him from his magnificent collages that he does and through the beautiful art, but Bearden as a baseball player was asked to pass as white, and the notion of passing was, or the nature of passing, the idea of it was something that was really, really new to Noah, and to watch how Swing kind of carefully helped him to navigate that idea was really beautiful to so many students. And one big question came up. It raised not necessarily an issue, but a question, and that question was, is having a black friend or a gay friend or a Jewish friend enough to overcome hate or racism or religious intolerance? And as the students and I discuss this, of course the answer is absolutely not. But having a really diverse and inclusive group of friends is enough to build empathy. And one of the things that the students and I discussed is that empathy is a powerful place from which to work. You know, as we read, we began to ask the question, if I've got a Jewish friend or a Muslim friend or a gay friend or a transgender friend or a black friend, you know, why is it that racism or hate or intolerance still persist? You know, that you know, at one time it was the dream that if we could all just be nice to each other, or if we could all be friends, that these things would disappear. And one of the things that the students and I began to explore through the experience of reading Swing was that racism doesn't just persist because people are mean, or intolerance doesn't just persist because people are mean. It persists because there are still structures in law that allow police to murder children without consequence. You know, there are still structures in school that hoard opportunity for a few, or those that render whole communities invisible in curriculum. And so as the kids and I talked, one of the things that we could explore through reading the book Swing together was, yes, how do interpersonal relationships help to make the world a better place, but we also begin to understand how those interpersonal relationships have limits, and how what really makes the world a better place is that we take the inspiration and all that we learn from those interpersonal relationships and we engage in direct action. So when I think about ways that teachers can embrace this concept or teach through this concept, one of the things that I've really thought a lot about is that in friendship, we inspire and we teach each other. But after that inspiration and teaching happens, that can be turned into action. And this is true of our teaching. You know, that we can't forget that the point of education is civic engagement, that we give children the tools to be civically engaged. And because the point of education is civic engagement, like any other skill or habit that we teach, this can't just be a thing that we talk about. This can be a thing that we model. And so I've been thinking, how in the wake of a book like Swing can I model powerful civic engagement for kids? And I've thought lots about using Swing as an opportunity and as a platform for kids to write letters to influential people in the community who can help them to enact change. Kids can use opportunities to research, to learn more about issues that face members of the community. They can interview people, conduct oral histories, and talk to people, not just about issues that might be alive and well in our communities, but issues that might span our state or our country or even our globe. And then finally, we can use a book like Swing as an opportunity for kids to work on local policy that impacts teens. You know, that we know that policing does become an issue in this book. We know that access to the arts is an issue in this book. Opportunities for kids to play and have like powerful recreational experiences after school. All of those are issues that shape the experience of this book, and all of those can be issues that kids use reading and writing to engage with. And so it has been an absolute thrill to read Swing with kids, and I certainly do hope that you are experiencing all of the energy that this book can bring to your classroom. For any more resources, you can certainly check out kwamealexander.com/huglife. There you can take a Hug Life challenge and even download an educator's guide written by me and Sylvia Vardell, and it has lots more ideas for how you can use Swing to engage kids, not just in the relationship building stuff that we do in our classroom, but also in the community building stuff that we do outside of our classrooms. Thanks. I'm Cornelius Minor. Keep reading.